Now, to talk more on this, we are joined by Mr. Jim Kavanagh, political analyst and blogger, joining us all the way from New York, US. Mr. Kavanagh, your thoughts on the Rafah crossing finally being reopened, and did international pressure have any effect on that decision?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Secondly, well, of course, I am glad to see that the Rafah crossing is open to some extent. Do I think the international community had some effect on that? Not really. I think the Israelis are going to do the minimum they can to pretend that there's something, that they're abiding by this ceasefire agreement. Of course, as you just reported, there's 500 people have been killed since the ceasefire from the Israelis, by the Israelis. If Hamas had done that, it'd be outrageous news all over the world. Of course, nobody talks about it. There is no effective ceasefire as far as Israel is concerned. I'm worried about with the Rafah crossing is that it's not going to be completely open. Israel has already said, oh, they don't really need 600 trucks a day. They can get away with 200 trucks a day. Israel's going to reduce the amount of aid that's going to come in. Let's see if they bring in the caravan homes. Let's see if they bring in the full number of trucks that are necessary. They've also said that they're going to allow people out, but not so many people back in. So they I think, said initially, maybe, they're thinking of, they'll start out by letting a quarter of the people who leave maybe can come back in, but they're going to start demanding identity papers that no one has. This is another ethnic cleansing tool. They're setting up fenced-in checkpoints like they have in the West Bank, between the West Bank and Green Line Israel. This is, again, Gaza has been divided. This is the 1947 plan 2.0. The territory has been divided. Israel controls completely and is present in over half of it and will never leave until they're driven out. The Palestinians who are left in the 45% that's on the western side of Gaza are going to be lives made miserable. We hope that most of them will leave, and the Israelis will make it hard for anybody who leaves to come back. Nobody is going to make the Israelis actually live up in good faith to this ceasefire agreement. Nobody has, and nobody will. The international community, what international community? The United Nations gave its blessing to this ridiculous Board of Peace proposal. The Turks, the Egyptians, Arab states, the Palestinian Authority all agreed to become part of it. This is, a colonialist enterprise of the most blatant kind. And, nobody in the world, Israel has destroyed the Gaza Strip and completely destroyed the eastern half of it, and and is continuing to attack the western half. The UN isn't going to stop them. The United Nations isn't going to stop them. Russia hasn't stopped them. China hasn't stopped them. Iran hasn't stopped them. Nobody's stopping them. So they're going to use the Rafah crossing mostly to get people out and to let a little bit of aid in so that they can say, oh, we're trying our best.
That's right, Mr. Kavanagh. As you said, they do their bare minimum, so trickle the aid in, but continue with the aggression, like some critics say, a slow genocide.
Death by 1,000 cuts genocide, slow motion genocide, however you want to portray it. It's ethnic cleansing. They want to get rid of the Palestinians. And look, if 1,000 Palestinians leave over a month through the Rafah crossing, they're going to start being offered deals from humanitarian Western organizations. Come and live in Canada, come and live in France or Germany or Italy or Australia or the United States. It'll be okay to have immigrants from Gaza. Watch. There's going to be a campaign to entice as many of them as possible not to even want to come back to Gaza. And why should they? They'll have a nicer life in Australia. It's an ethnic cleansing campaign that Israel is succeeding in and has largely succeeded. And, I don't have much hope for it. And I mean, the bare minimum is they should let the number of trucks in, 600 trucks versus 200 trucks. I mean, right there, they're reducing that by to a third of the minimum. And, but look what they're doing. They attack UNRWA, they attack killed 30 children, 30 Palestinians yesterday morning, including a family of like 4 or 5 people, and nobody is even paying attention to it, let alone doing anything to stop it.
That's right, Mr. Kavanagh. There you have Mr. Jim Kavanagh, political analyst and blogger, joining us all the way from New York. Mr. Kavanagh, as always, thank you for your time and your analysis.